Thank you so much for being here again. Tell me, sort of, or everyone that's listening now, I know that for the length of time that you've been in mobile home investing, what you've accomplished and the different spin that you're putting on this business is something that is unique, very unique to what you're doing. And I feel like it can be replicated, but let's talk about that. Actually, first, if you would kind of give everyone a history, like a 1 or 2 minute background of yourselves, and then when you got started investing, and even I know you did a couple deals before we met. We can talk about that, and then I'll love to ask you some more questions.
Okay, so my name is Walt Johns, and my wife is Caiyun, and we have been investing in mobile homes for about 3 years now. In all, we been doing investments for real estate investing for probably in the realm of 5, 7 years, somewhere around there. We uh, we love this business, no doubt. We think it's a business for everyone, and well, when I first got into it, no doubt my wife told me that she got me in the first deal, and she said, why don't we do this?" And I was so against it. I was like, "Are you kidding me? No way. We're not going to be investing in mobile homes." I said, "We keep our money in real estate and let's keep moving forward." And she says, "Oh no, let's at least try this once." We put our money in, and I guess she turned me completely
There
around
was no
because
stopping you.
after that first investment, we started making the first couple of $100 a month on the first deal. I was sold, and we've been doing one every other month or so after that since then, and it's been a very successful business for us. Our business model is about building cash flow. We're both very successful in our private lives, even though we work for jobs, the jobs. But and as a result of that, that money that we make every month, we can actually reinvest into mobile homestay, and it makes us a lot of money. We make more money in mobile homestay than we do on our capital property investments, and with less capital investments, and that's a requirements, and that's a really good thing for us.
Incredible.
On average, we'll make $250 to $400 a month on a mobile home deal, and it just continues to make sense for us. So we're very excited.
And what is the average length of time that you're getting paid for when you sell a mobile home?
Yeah. So yeah. So she's going 10. That's 10 years. What we will tell you is this: that we have sold mobile homes on cash deals, where we've essentially bought a mobile home for 8,000. We sold it or 7,000. We sold it for $14,000 in 2 weeks. And then we've had mobile homes we've bought for $4,000, and we've sold at for $18,000 on payments, and we're making about $400 a month on those. We have some that we've bought for $12,000 that we've sold for $400 a month for as much as 15 years. And when you do the capital on that, it's going to be a great payoff at the end. But in our model, it's more about the cash flow. So if we can continue to get $300 to $450 a month coming in, it makes a great living on our part for us.
No question about that. Excellent. Now, I want to come back to that and a little bit more of the numbers. But when you first got started, let's talk about how many deals before we got in touch for mobile homes, mind you.
It was about five.
Okay.
I will tell you that we read your book before, and we've read other books, other things that we've kind of learned. As a result of that, as we started looking around, and understanding more about what we were reading, the internet, different things, that gave us a real good sense that we need to be in this business. How can we get more? And that's why we contacted you, because we wanted to understand all the intricacies of how to do it legal. We thought we were doing it legal, but we were learning other things as we wanted to make sure that we were following all the procedures. Your training gives us scripts that helped us prepare us to do a better job with with our clients and things. So.
And has all that been valuable? I mean, the paperwork, the videos, the process. You knew you already had 4 deals under your belt, so you weren't strangers to the industry. But the training was very useful, very helpful. Or
Absolutely.
okay.
If you would have listened to my first sales deal, you would have laughed because the customer hung up on me, didn't want to talk to us, and his saying goes, boy, we really screwed that one up, and I go, no, it was a great learning
Yes.
incident because what we said was, you know, I said it was just a really bad situation, but it was a really bad call. But after rehearsing the scripts, and then understanding what I should say, what I should ask, I think it really helped us get more prepared. And today, when we go into a mobile home deal, it just happens naturally. I mean, we've done enough today that and Caiyun and we play off of each other a lot. While we're walking around inspecting, she points out things. I'm looking at things in a mobile home, and I'm looking for all the things that man would look for. Is there a leak? Is there what's the fuse box say? What's the, and I'm just walking down through the stuff, and she's pointing out other things. And by the time we walk away, we have a little short conversation. We know exactly what we want to offer. And usually we're within just a few $100s one way or the other about what we should offer. And our model is turnkey mobile homes a lot. That's the ones we do the most success in. Most of our deals are, by the time we look at a mobile home and the time that we've made an offer, we know that we're going to buy it, and we have that thing resold within a week or two. I really do, and under the turnkey model. On those fixer-uppers, it takes more time. We have demanding schedules, so for me to take too many of those projects on, it really requires a significant amount of time for us. And I don't have the time to babysit contractors. I don't have the time to go and check on them, go open the doors, make sure that they did do the work that they did, and make sure that they stay on task. So turnkey properties are really good for us, and that's why we really like, when we go into a mobile home, it's clean, it's ready to move in. If it's livable for me to walk into, this is one I'm going to buy.
Your homes, the ones that you invest in, and that's what I sort of alluded to when we first started talking, was that your homes that you're purchasing, you're spending a little bit more money. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Your average home, it's beautiful, single wide, double wide, just gorgeous home. You're spending around $10,000 or so, maybe a little bit more on that home. Now, when you resell that, what is your average move-in fee, ballpark or range?
What would you say? Saying 3,000 generally? Yeah, about 3,000, right? 2 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we've done some 5 on some double wides, right? We have. Yeah, I would say that. So we get a good return of our initial investment, and we look forward to getting that initial capital, a complete capital outlay out back within 12 to 24 months. That's generally what we do.
So you're collecting, and it takes you a little bit longer than other folks in the group. I know that we've talked and you've commented on how other people in the Facebook group, they're picking them up for not pennies, but you want it, but then they need some repairs. But then again, we're only selling them for about 5, 6, 7 years on average. Yours is like 10 years minimum, or just whatever it might be. So the numbers still work out, and that's what I think is just so. And they're turnkey. This is very easy business for you, and maybe the fact that you are able to you found that niche of not homes that don't need a lot of work. Perhaps that's where you fit in, because if you and I'm not sure this is something that we have to explore, but what has been your finding locally, looking for homes that are $5,000 or less, or $10,000 or less? Are they all just terrible condition, or are they being scooped up by buyers quickly?
They're in rougher areas to live, I would say that for sure. One thing that makes us unique in our business is that we really understand the real estate market. Because we have as many capital properties that we do, what we see is this. We know that there's a 2% vacancy rate. Average rent in this area will be $900 a month. So when you look at that, we go, okay, so how can we fit our model into buying a piece of property for just under what you would rent it for? And so when we go we look for people who are young people who want to come in, are wanting their first home, who are really understand that and they want to live independently of an apartment or paying rent on something. And time again, we'll sell a mobile home to someone, and I sometimes I'm just very thankful at the end of the day because they just come to us and they just say, thank you for getting us into our first home. Thanks for giving us a chance. And where you would think of a young couple who their payment to us is going to be $330, we time and time get. We got one just yesterday. The person paid us $660 in that monthly payment, and so if they pay us that capital in advance, great. We're just further ahead, quicker along, and that saved them interest rate. But we still made all that money cash flow, and it just gets our initial capital outlay back to us faster, and that's really what we're looking for. Get that initial capital outlay back, and then we just make it all up in payments. So it's a good thing.
That was a question that I was going to ask you. Is what is the what's the most valuable part of this business, or what do you receive besides just the monetary value? And you mentioned it right there. I feel where you have those young folks or middle-aged or elderly extremely happy. I mean, we're providing them quality homes for a very affordable price. So
I just bought a double wide a couple months ago. Caiyun and I bought it first time we had ever moved a mobile home.
That's right.
And we worked with a park. The park helped pay part of the moving fee. They gave us $5,000 credit. We just got the check just a couple days ago, which is great because we're going to use that as part of our vacation fund. But they helped pay $5,000 towards a $7,500 move setup fee. That's really what it cost us to move that 24 by 60 foot long, 28 by 60 foot long mobile home. Huge. I mean, really
huge. And they moved it all in one shot. Do you mind if I put pictures up on this video?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and they moved all of that in one piece. They moved it 17 miles, and they moved it at 3 o'clock in the morning. The next morning, I drove by there, and there it was. And I was like, "Holy smokes! They already got it leveled and everything." And so then we began to work on this as a project. We had some landscaping done. We had the roof was already only a year old on the roof, so it was in great shape. I came in on a weekend. I painted it one weekend. We had new decks built on it, a new sidewalk put into place. We spent probably about another $5,000 on it. Is really what we spent. So we've got about maybe $19,000 to $20,000 total investment in it. We already have it sold, so we just put the sign up on it. It was up there for just a couple of days. They're going to end up giving us about $5,000 down on it. We're going to collect $400 a month every month for the next. We think was that a 20-year deal? Ultimately, we're going to make about. By the time the whole deal is done, it's about $86,000 on the interest and everything. And we tell our buyers, look, if you pay it off early, there's no penalty for us. That's great. If you can't afford to do that and you just continue to make the payments, you're still below the rental market. That's great for you. And this young couple, they told us, thank you for giving us a first shot. They look like a clean couple. What's interesting is that this couple also live just a couple doors down from their mother, who is also in a double wide that we own, and so they know the neighborhood, and they got the grandkids close by. And the thing that she told us was, she says, the reason I'm really glad that we have this deal is because we're buying a really nice home, and after we get you paid off, then all our rent is $400 a month for the rest of our lives into retirement, and we'll be just fine. And from time to time we've learned to work with parks, But what we really see in these mobile home parks is some of these parks are very clean. This one has a swimming pool, a special banquet room for guests and things like that. It also has pavement throughout it. The park manager is a good manager. He's somewhat strict. He wants the areas kept clean, and he he's very capable of managing a park that size. It's over 300 units, isn't it?
Wow.
There, and then and he works with us because he likes us, and we have, I don't know, 10 or 12 or maybe more than that there in that park alone. But he's continually calling us. A lot of times he brings the mobile home, the people who will finance the mobile home and the buyer all together just to keep his park full, and he's gun ho for us. He really likes us, and we really like him too. So we're very fortunate to have that park. Yeah.
Excellent. So that was so the park manager then is. I apologize about the background noise. One of
No,
the
that's okay.
consequences of being at Starbucks. So the park manager. So park managers, sort of as a whole, looking at your community or surroundings, are they mostly helpful to you? Are they mostly hurtful? What's your opinion there?
Yeah, they're very helpful, and what we also find is we use them to reference other parks. So, and we've asked them specifically. We went into another park that's over in another town. It's called Meridian, which is close by to us, and we wanted to get into that park. It's a really clean park, really nice park, and we kept saying, well, we'd really like to work it out and to be an investor in your park. He was totally against investors, and what we did is say, look, I understand it's really about lot rents, and we'd like to help you fill your park up and bring other mobile homes here. I said, so don't just take my word on it. I says, I'd like you to talk to this park manager and ask him what we've done. In that park alone, saying when I did the math once, we brought him $48,000 a year in park rents. So it's every reason why you would want to have a park, have an investor in your park. And he called him. We found out, and he says, "Oh, you want to deal with Walt and Kai? They'll help you out a whole bunch." And I walked in. With Kai. I shook his hand and says, "Look, here's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to. I will leave this park in better shape than I found it. And when I buy a home, I'll paint it. I'll put the decks on it. I'll make sure it's well within your park rules, and it'll be a mobile home that you'll be proud to have in your park. And I promise you that. And when I commit that to them, they have no reason but to try. And so sure enough, we got a deal. He says, yeah, you guys can come into the park and try it. And, and we keep wanting him to give us a second one. We're trying to get him to do a second one now. But, I think it'll be easier because he's getting a good, a good mobile home renter in the park, and it'll be a good thing for him, I think. So.
I'd like to emphasize how important that last two minutes was for the folks listening. If you didn't quite hear that, or you were looking at Facebook, go back 2 minutes, because a question that I get fairly regularly is, and usually not from folks from the program, but just that, mobile home park managers around me, they don't want me there, or I can't work in their park. And mobile home park managers, they're the gatekeepers oftentimes of that park, and sometimes they're living in the park, but ultimately they want to make sure that they're building a relationship with good, honest, hardworking, humble people that are going to help their park. And if you have the same goals, you're headed towards the same path, which is what you had to convince this park manager of. I mean, they don't know you from a hole in the wall. So I just like that fact that you didn't take no for an answer. You know how much value that you're going to provide. You know that you're always going to make the payments. You know that that you're going to bring quality people in there. You're going to bring a quality home in, or you're going to move quickly. You're going to always be available. So you were just trying to show that to the park manager, and there you have it, and it worked. And that is typically what does happen many times when you present yourself to a park manager in a humble and cordial and respectful manner, and you know what to say, and you know why you're there and how to help them.
Absolutely, John. I think that there's a big difference between flipping mobile homes and investing in mobile homes. And I think what park managers run into are the flippers a lot. So if I could go out and I could buy a mobile home for a few $1,000s and just sell it. But what I'm trying to do is to tell park managers that Caiyun and I are willing to make the investment to make this mobile home better and get you quality people that will pay your lot rents. And in the event that they can't stand good on their monthly payment, we will stand good on the monthly payment, and we will work with our mobile home buyers to make sure that they can afford what they're purchasing and get the right people in those parks for them. And we have done that in times when a mobile home buyer has said, "Hey, something happened. The dog ate the check. The car, had an incident, and we can't pay this month." What we've done is we work with that mobile home buyer, and we understand that, and we tell them, look, you need to stand good with the lot rent. I want you to make sure that you're current on the lot rent, and in turn, we'll work out your payments with us, and we will either extend it, add it to the contract at the end, or sometimes we say, okay, pay us an extra $100 this month, and next month we'll start catching up and work out a catch-up plan for them. It's for us. It really is. We're showing the park that we're concerned about them keeping their lot rent full, lot checks coming in regularly, and then at the same time, we're taking care of our clients.
I like that you mentioned that. I like that so much because when you're dealing with, and there's probably many different people, but the two sort of ends of the spectrum are you have that credit conscious person that is just like you. They have a job, they're good people, maybe bad things have happened to them in their past, but they're honest and they're going to be upfront and straightforward with you. And then on the other side, they're purposefully, looking to manipulate you or steal from you, or, they already have that notion in their mind. So, there's a spectrum there. And when you deal with people on that, the side of the spectrum that they're credit conscious and they're hardworking and they're honest and forthcoming, it is sort of a balancing act of, yes, you want your money every month, but if they're going through some hard times, legitimate hard times, you want to work with them, and the park obviously has to be paid. Now, with that said, how many? And I know the answer here, but how long does it take typically for you to get a home sold, and then how many feet do you need to get through that home for the person to say, okay, yes, I want it, I'm going to go get approved?
Yeah, so it's really interesting for us because the day that we list it, it's not very long before we have it sold. It really isn't. Many times we've had it sold before the sign gets on the lot. And what we're doing is we're just communicating with them to work out, okay, what's the payment going to be? Caiyun is very helpful in this model. We kind of go through. We have some loan calculators we're using on our cell phones all the time, and we're talking with them and said, well, so I want to understand, can you afford $400 a month? And I really want to know that because I don't want to come back to you and say you couldn't afford rent this month. What I want to do is make sure that you can afford the rents every month. So is it $350? Is it $400? Is it $450? What is the affordable number that you can pay me every month? And sometimes we may spend talking with someone. That process could be 30 minutes. But really what our goal is to reduce our risk, one. And the second thing is I don't want to have to come back to you and say you didn't pay me this month. Right? So what I would rather have is you to tell me if you said you could only afford $300 a month, then what we would do is we would go through the calculator and say, okay, so we'll take you $300 for 12 years. And if that's what you can afford, that's what's a good number that works for you, that's what we'll do. And we would work out the calculation. A lot of times we ask and I've learned this from Caiyun, when we have a buyer, we ask them, what can you afford? What can you afford as a down payment? If you can afford a larger down payment, then that gets your payments lower. And as you get your payments lower, it makes it affordable living for you. And we want that for them as well. we want them to have affordable living. So if they somehow work it out with the park that they've got a $400 a month rent and they're paying us $300 a month on payments for 12 years, and they can live for $700 a month, and they're happy with that, we're happy with that too, and that's really what our goal is.
Excellent. So that, and you learned that from Cy.
I learned that from you and Cy.
Yeah. So I miss hearing your voice. You're just sitting there. We need to get you a microphone as well.
Yeah, you want to talk a while?
I have. So let's get. I want to get through some questions here because this is Ask the Experts, and you do have a plethora of experience. More than that, I'm just being. Yeah. So let me ask you some questions. What do you feel that the most important activity daily of a mobile home investor is?
Yeah, the most important activity daily is look at the web, do your research, find out what other mobile homes are going for, how many are in the area, are there any out there for sale? I would say post something that you're a buyer. Making other people out there aware that you're willing to buy their mobile home, because they're probably looking for someone to buy it, and they just don't know who to look for to buy it. So if they can go on the internet and say, hey, an ad that says, hey, I buy mobile homes for cash, or talk to me,
Put it out
and then the other thing is we love this. Weekends we do our coffees and we take a drive. So we just get coffee and drive around and to mobile home parks, look around, see what's on. We'll look for sale signs on the windows, on the dog, on the fence, everywhere where they are, right? And when we find them, we take our cell phone, we take a picture. So we take a picture of the house with the phone number, and then we come home and we start calling. Hey, what are you looking? You're selling this mobile home? What are you selling it for? What's the Try to understand. Can we set up time to come in and look? And if it's something we're interested in, it sounds right. We say, well, we pay cash for mobile homes. Can we come take a look? That might be something we might be interested in. And they're like, yeah, please come take a look, and then when we walk in, we'll take a look at them. We're going, does it fit our model? It's the niche. So if you can find 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, if it looks like a nice yard, if it looks like something that's really clean and something that's ready to move into, there's a good chance that we're probably going to make an offer.
You talked about the niche. Do you feel that for a newer investor, it is important to pick a niche, or maybe just put like a mass ad out saying, I buy mobiles, I buy condos, I buy townhouses, land? So do you think it's important to specialize, or if my phone rings, I want to make money kind of thing?
I think for the first time mobile home, I'd say jump in with both feet right now, right? Find one and buy one. And then once you find one and buy one and you sell it, if you just take that first experience and now just put it on steroids and do it over and over again, I will guarantee you will be successful and you'll make a lot of money. And we have made a lot of money. I'm going to tell you, that's the truth. The thing is I remember the first time we had 3 deals going on at one time, and I was nervous. Because I had never made. First of all, it was like we could afford it. Mm-hmm. That wasn't what. But I just didn't want to be stuck with paying park rents. And when the first one sold, we were like, "Oh, first one sold. Okay, that's cool." And then the second one came in, and then we're like, oh, "Okay, we only got one left, right?" And then after the third one was like, I go. And I was like, and all the way through that third day, I was like, don't do this again. Don't ever have 3 at one time. Don't ever do it. I was stressed. And then right after the third was done, let's go get another one.
We gotta
get and because if you really think about it, if you could do 2 deals or 3 deals and increase your monthly cash flow of $1,000 every month coming in, that's nice. That's a really nice thing. Do 10 of them and get $4,000 coming in. Do 20 and get $8,000 coming in every month. That's the kind of success that you can have. We sometimes laugh because we sometimes ask, why do we work? And it's because we've worked all our lives. That's all.
Wow.
That's really what it is. We've worked all our lives. I've worked ever since I was a child. I don't know what it will be like to ever not have a job. And but the other truth is this, that working with mobile homes, John, and we owe a big thanks to you and to Bill Neves and the other people that are friends of ours that have that we've worked with. Is this y'all have reduced our fears from trying by looking at your website, using the tools that you provide to us, and then at the same time, you've given us the desire to try. And once we've tried it, and we've become successful. Look, we're ready to go again. Right after this double wide, she already told me, she says, "Hey, there's another one that's not far from here. We can get it for $9,000. Do you want to go take a look?" And that's the kind we just continue to do them. We don't have any limits. We just go, well, we finished this deal. Let's go do another one. You can do this in part-time and make some money, or you can do this full-time and you make a lot of money. And I think we're making a lot of money doing this in part-time.
My hat's off to you both, and what you said about the training and any help, any value that I've given you means more to me than you know. To help you, to keep you away from some danger that I've had in the past, to make this easier for you. I mean, this training is worthless if you're not going to do anything with it. But it doesn't fall on deaf ears, and you're the ones that are making this worth it. Now, I question, if you had a magic racer, and you're looking back on your past, is there anything that you would do differently, or something that you wouldn't do, or maybe do more of?
Yeah, if I would have done anything differently, I would have started earlier.
That seems like the answer that's almost everyone gives. That's the truth.
That is the truth. And I'd also say this: find, really just take the time to look at the real estate market. Understand what rents are out there in the apartment world and in home owning renting. If you can understand that, then you can really figure out what the niche should be. You can figure out what you can sell that mobile home for, and on payments, and you can build a great cash flow business. And today we have built a great cash flow business, and we're continuing to add to that. And what I'm looking forward to is the next years with it, because I think that every year, I don't know why we can't do 10, right? I just keep thinking, I go, well, that'd be start. We kind of started out wanting to do 10 this year, and we've already passed that number. We're kind of do another one, right? But what I would say is that you just keep looking and have a good time and make it fun. We make this business fun.
I'm so jealous that you guys it's the husband and wife, duo and teamwork, and I'm so jealous of that. I love it. I love to see that.
Yeah, 1st through the 6th I'm the happiest. It's checks, isn't it? It's counting checks. So it's like I'm like, yes, we're gonna count some checks. 1st through the 6th, we get to. And we work together. Caiyun does a lot of the bookkeeping on that side. I write a lot of the receipts. Try to pass those. You give it to me. I send them out. I mail them, right? But it's what we do. It's how we work together. We use a mobile phone number that we have, a Google number. Yeah. So all of our customers call into that, leave voicemails. Right. And then as we start building our clients, and then we'll sit down and we take our notebooks and we start calling. Hey, so you're interested in one? Where are you looking? What are you looking for? Or do you have a range that you're looking for a price? You're looking for a fixer-upper? You're looking for something you can move into? What can you afford for monthly payments? What can you afford for a down payment? So we start asking all those questions, and we start building a dossier of people who are interested in mobile homes. And it's very important to keep that list, because you might think they're only looking for now, but they may just pay you another month's rent, and then next month you have something available. You call them and say, oh, yeah, I'm interested. We'll come in and take a look at the mobile home. The other thing is we post on Craigslist most of these homes, and in one posting we get bombarded with customers who are looking clients looking to buy, and some of them you can hear and they're not serious. They're just kind of putting you on the list. Some of them sound like they're desperate, and that you wouldn't want to sell a home to. Others sound like they're very professionals who are, in fact, driving BMWs, Mercedes. What was that guy? He had a movie vehicle, that big Jeep. Yeah, don't put his name on, but yeah, but he had this truck that was in some famous movie,
Oh,
and
weird.
but you have people with various incomes who want to be in a mobile home, and they, for whatever the reasons, they find that living in the mobile home is a good deal for them, and fits their financial model for where they're at right now, and we look at those lists, and we continually are amazed by how many people will come in and call and us looking for a mobile home. That's for sure.
Well,
The other thing I would say is that in the mobile homes, when you find, as you create those lists, just plan to repurpose them. Sometimes what we do is this. We may list a mobile home and say, we're only going to show this mobile home Saturday between 1 and 3 o'clock. And in the course of between 1 and 3 o'clock, you'll have 5 to 7 people come in, couples come in and look at the mobile home.
the
And
serious
talking to
ones.
them for 5 to 10 minutes, you get a feel for who you probably want to sell it
Yeah.
to. And we tell them, okay, what you need to do is, here's the copy of your park application. You need to get this submitted right away. If you get it submitted right away, the first person qualifies for the park. We'll consider if you're the most qualified, we'll consider you as a person who's going to be buying the mobile home from us. And so we use that pretty well for us.
And then you do it again and again
Again
and again.
and
But
again.
you've given just a tremendous amount of value here today, and I really, the folks listening, you've given just a tremendous amount of value. Open up your hearts, open up your business, talking very candidly. Any other advice that you would give to someone on the fence, young, middle-aged, older, just getting started with this business, or even thinking that it's possible? Any advice to that person, or maybe you 3 months ago, or 3 years ago, excuse me? There you go. Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
the question was, I'm not sure where we cut off, but just any advice to someone 3 years ago, like you were, kind of sitting on that fence about getting started with this type of weird mobile home niche.
Okay. Yeah, I would say my best advice to you would be to try. You know, we were capital investors, capital property. That's where we are. We buy homes, we turn around, and sometimes we finance them and sell them. Sometimes we do rentals. It just depends what we're doing with our own homes. And when Caiyun brought the idea of a mobile home, I was like, no way. But after trying the first one, I'm sold, and we do it over and over again. So try. And the other thing would be is to mentor. Find a good mentor. Use John Fedro. Use someone to help you through the first deal, and take notes along the way. And don't be afraid to ask questions, and
Yeah.
then try again. Learn if you make a mistake, learn from the mistake and go again. You know, I will tell you this: we have one, maybe two mobile homes that we're still going to make money on, but we didn't make all the money that we could. We could have made a better deal and made more money. But in all of our mobile homes, we will make money, and we will make great money. And what I will tell you is this: learn to, attempt to find a way to scale. So if you can do, don't just do one, don't do two. Work on getting your first 10. Well, after we did our three, we're like, well, we can do 10. Okay, let's
Yeah.
do 10. And after 10, oh, we can do 20.
Right.
Okay, so learn to do it on scale, because scale is, after we did our, what was it, that day we sold three, or weekend we sold three mobile homes in one weekend, right? So guess what I did with it? I went and I bought a new truck. And I haven't made a payment on that truck yet, because someone else is paying that payment for that truck yet
Yes.
for me. So what I'm going to tell you is, to do it on scale, because you're going to find things that you want to buy along in your life, and you turn around and you go, well, you know what? If I do that, I can just sell a mobile home and buy that, and someone else will pay for that for me. And that's what real successful investing is about reducing your cost in your life and living it till its fullest. And if you ask me, mobile home, investing is a way to get there, and to really make a great investment and allows you to live your life to its fullest. And we are having a great life, my wife and I. That's for sure. Just
Well,
so.
I hope you bought Caiyun a new car since you're getting the truck, just buying toys for yourself.
He says, "I hope you bought you a new car." Taking her on a cruise
They,
in 2 weeks, and
that's
we're
right.
and I will tell you, we're going for like 11 days. It's going to cost me about $10,000, but I will tell you that we did a deal in a mobile home on a double wide, and that cruise is already paid for. So
Wonderful.
that's a good thing.
Thank you so much for opening your business and your heart and just speaking candidly with us here. Thank you so much again, both of you, and keep up the great work. You know, I'm always here for you. My phone's always on, so keep just what you're doing. Keep it up. Thank you again.
Thank you, John. Thank you. We really appreciate it. It's been great, and it's great to know you and see your success. I look on Facebook, which I'm not a Facebook follower.
I mean,
Just
yeah.
so you know, about the only thing I use Facebook for is to look at my own family, and my brother's children and their children's children and that stuff. And so going to the mobile home formula, go to their website and I read what others are doing,
Hmm.
and I take ideas and I learn from ideas, from things that I see, and I try different things, and I don't mind posting little ads out there.
Right.
Hey, try this or try that. And I like reading to see what other people are paying for their mobile
Hmm.
homes, and kind of balancing that with what we're paying and seeing if we feel like we're still getting a good deal or could we have done a better deal. Um, it's nice to see the tips out there. I love to see when someone says, "Hey, try this or try that,"
It
and
is. I'm blown away. Thank you for adding so much value to that group and everyone else. It's just been a really, really good community of like-minded folks, all trying to, you know, do the same thing.
it really is. And
Yeah.
we see some people out there doing strict cash deals, and we're like, man, I really like to do some of those cash deals. And when we did this double wide, we had a cash come in, drop into our lap, right?
Mhm.
And we actually turned it down because we were sitting there going, well, we could make more money if we do it this way. and, you know,
I'm
and
with you. Yes.
some people having $20,000 in their pocket would probably be a great deal. I mean, to have $20,000, but when we have some savings, and what we would rather have is the potential of making $80,000 on a deal, and so we're willing to finance it for longer and make a couple happy by making smaller payments to us,
Right.
and we continue to do that well. Wouldn't you say, Saeed? Yeah.
I'd say so too.
Yeah.
Thank you again, both of you, for being here with us.
All right. Thank you, John.